Thank you for clicking on the video, and I hope everyone is doing really well. Today is going to be a little bit of a different video. It's not going to be about a diet, and it's not going to be about an eating disorder. It's actually going to be the start of a multi-part series about nutrition. And today I'm going to focus on carbohydrates. And I feel like everyone loves carbs, but a lot of people have some misconception and misunderstanding about what a carb really is and what it really does. So I'm going to just do a really kind of brief kind of summary of it. It is going to seem like a lot, but this is the brief summary of what carbs are. Carbohydrates can be broken down into dietary fiber, sugars, and a lot of other kind of subcategories, but today I'm just going to focus on the general carbohydrates, what it is, what it does, and why they're so good for you. Carbs fuel our brain, they fuel our red blood cells, and they aid in our nervous system functioning well. The body is capable of using protein as fuel, but when you consume protein, it must first be processed by the liver and the kidneys, while carbs are an immediate source of fuel. That means that the body processes them immediately as energy. Fat can also be used as the body's source of energy, but if a person focuses on getting their energy solely from fat, meaning that they cut down on their carbohydrates, then you run the risk of your body producing something called ketones, and that can result in a condition called ketoacidosis, which is when your pH levels in your body drop to incredibly dangerous levels. So through deductive reasoning, that leaves carbohydrates as the best source of energy for your body. Like I said, it's immediate fuel for your body. So the minute you eat carbs, your body is able to kind of latch onto those molecules and really break them down into the energy that we need, rather than having some other organ having to process it and go through that whole function, or in the fat case, you run the risk of harming your body. So carbs are the best source of energy. Carbs also help maintain our insulin metabolism, our blood sugar levels, our triglyceride levels, our cholesterol. They also help fight against constipation and intestinal diseases and disorders. Some of the healthiest populations in the world live off high carb diets, but the difference is they're not eating the processed, refined foods that us in the Western world do. They're eating carbs in their most natural, purest state. In the past, carbs were divided into two categories. One, simple, which were sugars, and two, complex, which were starches. And everybody knew that simple was bad and complex was good. This was an oversimplification of what carbohydrates were, which led to a misconception about which carbs were good and which carbs were bad. The truth is, both simple and complex carbs are good for the body, as long as the carb is unprocessed. Because there is such a misconception about carbohydrates, carbs are now divided into 4 different categories. The first still being simple. Simple carbohydrates contain 1 to 2 units of sugar and can be found in foods like fruits, vegetables, unconcentrated sweeteners like sugar, and the products made with those sweeteners. The second category is still complex, and it contains 3 or more units of sugar. This can be found in foods like whole grains, starchy vegetables, legumes, seeds and nuts, flours, powdered starches, and the products that are made with those flours and starches. The third category of carbohydrates are refined, and those are the ones that contain processed grains, starches, and sweeteners like white bread, white pasta, soda, and candy. And the fourth category is unrefined, which is another word for simple and complex carbs. So basically, that would be like a fruit or vegetable that has been unprocessed but is still in its whole state. So what is refining? When a grain is refined, it is stripped away of the bran and the germ. The bran and the germ contains about 80% of the vitamins, the minerals, and the other nutrients, leaving behind something called endosperm, which is lacking in the carbohydrate molecule. If you ever see the label enriched, this merely means that the product was stripped away of all its nutrients, so it was refined, then it's processed, then the product is created, and then at that point, they add back a few nutrients back in. But pretty much the maximum nutrients that they add back in are iron, vitamin B1, B2, B3, and B9. The beautiful thing about carbs is that they are already naturally abundant in so many vitamins and minerals. So why do these manufacturers take away all the good stuff and only put back a small percentage back in? It's just something to think about. So what is it that you should take away from this little lesson in carbohydrates? The next time you hear someone say carbs are bad, just remember, there is a huge difference between a bowl of pasta and a handful of strawberries. Thank you again for clicking on the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something about carbs. I hope you learned that carbs are not bad. They're actually really good for your body as long as you are sourcing, the carbs are sourced from a good place, like a wholesome, whole, natural source of carbohydrates rather than a overly processed, stripped away of all its nutrients product. So if you did enjoy it, if you did learn something, please give this video a like. I will be doing more videos about nutrients like carbs, proteins, fats, sugars, all that good stuff in the future. So for more videos like that, more videos about diets and eating disorders, please subscribe to this channel and I will see you next time. Bye!